from which we draw on our nature has such robust meaning. The Aramaic and even the English language allows the heart, this word, this space, this well, to hold so much as a source of generative power to fuel vitality, desire, affection, courage, and audacity. When Spencer smiles his now four-toothed grin, he is so consistent and pure. He's connected to that life force within that natural place of audacity. While we humans certainly have to work to do that reconnection with our true selves, and not be eagles or our snaky selves, Jesus illuminates this beatitude so that we know God better. It doesn't say, blessed are the pure at heart, for they shall know themselves inside and out and be all aligned, right? Instead, it says the result is to know God. This is no small thing. How we see and know God changes how we treat others. We see others regardless of wisdom, tradition, religion, opinion, and culture as God's beloved, just as God sees each of us that way. We might be able to recognize, even allow others their connection to God and their ability to delight in God as just right. This was what John Wesley understood as prevenient grace. This grace, this undeserved love, this compassion, this holding spot for all that is good, to be ours and yours and everyone's, even before we can claim it, even before we know what we're talking about. So regardless of religion, regardless of background, that grace, that prevenient grace, is all of ours to claim. That's why we can baptize little babies, because we understand that prevenient grace to be theirs and to hold them and to nurture them. When we engage in interfaith and cross-cultural, cross-faith relationships and projects and efforts, we do so because we're following the ways of God. And we do that because we now know God. We're courageous together because our individual authenticity only heightens our awareness of God in each other's midst. It does nothing to threaten God. To be pure in heart is to see and to know God. So I'm going to invite you to look at your bulletin for just a second. As I had mentioned a couple of weeks ago, there are some take-home questions, if you will. Some sermon thoughts. And there's a couple of questions under the open-hearted question. And those might be a good place to start a reflection. I'm going to ask you to just take a moment, read those, pick one that you might answer right now, or at least beginning to answer. And it might actually have you thinking on your drive home and throughout the week. If the Beatitudes are a way of life, if they're a way of naming your identity, it's good to practice, right? You can't be an athlete without practicing being athletic. You can't be a musician without practicing. And so these questions and the Beatitudes are a way in which we practice. We practice the way of God. We practice our identity as we follow after Jesus. Mercy and purity of heart become attributes that we choose and intentionally cultivate with such renewing results as knowing God to extend full compassion and open hearts to others. May it be so for our lives this day